talking about breast binders and bras today. I'm just a mum, I'm not a medical professional, but I'm sharing the information and learnings that I've had as a parent of a daughter who identified as transgender for 9 months and now identifies as non-binary. When your teenager suddenly identifies as transgender or suffers from what we call ROGD, rapid onset gender dysphoria, one of the issues for females, biological females, is that they can begin to feel extreme discomfort, extreme psychological discomfort around their breasts. This is called dysphoria. It's part of dysphoria. And one of the solutions offered online is to bind their breasts. Now, a binder comes in various forms. It can be bandages, it can be duct tape, but the commercial binders are sort of like a corset for the breast area that it crushes down the chest and squashes the breast tissue and tries to make the chest as flat as possible. Now, the reason why teenagers and others who identify as transgender want to wear the binders is because they identify more strongly with being a male than being a female, and their breasts are causing them psychological pain. So the first thing to note about this issue, if it's raised by your teenager, is that they are in actual psychological pain. And for this reason, I always recommend going to a therapist and perhaps even going to a doctor. For us, we did not go to an affirming therapist because an affirming therapist pretty much tells the teenager everything that they want to hear and confirms that their gender identity is fixed and that they are transgender, even if they're only exploring the possibility that they might be, which is what happened with my daughter. For us, it was much better to go to a therapist that helped her with critical thinking, whether it was around gender issues or around other issues. It helped her to keep her options open, not only about gender, but about all sorts of issues surrounding her personal development. So when the issue of binders came up for us, this was something that my daughter felt very strongly about, and she was extremely determined to get a binder and try to convince us that this was the best option. I did my own research, and there is a lot of information out on the internet about how dreadful binders are, what the physical harms of binders are, and it includes permanent damage to breast tissue, it includes deforming of the breasts, and it includes broken ribs and permanent rib damage. And in fact, binders can be so uncomfortable. That is one of the reasons that some people give for moving away from binders and choosing to go to a double mastectomy so that they can still get the flattish breast effect, but not have to wear the binder because of the pain. Of course, a double mastectomy does not give you a completely flat chest, and I'll talk about top surgery, as they call it, in another video. But regarding binders, this was really a make or break issue for me and my daughter, and I never wanted her gender identity issue to become adversarial or a source of conflict for us. So I really wanted to find a way to build my relationship with her, show her that I really supported her, absolutely genuinely wanted to help her, but I said no to anything that I believed would harm her physically or psychologically. My research showed that binders were harmful, and this was one area that I put my foot down with an absolute no way. She was very upset, of course, but I just kept repeating to her that as a mom, my job is to keep you safe. If I let you get a binder, which I believe is unsafe, then I'm not doing my job as a mom. Anyway, we had to agree to disagree on whether or not binders were safe. But I really wanted her to know that I was in her corner and I wanted to help her. And so the first thing I did, I sort of had a 4-step process that I took her through. The first thing I did was I said to her, I see you having discomfort around your breasts, and I can't agree to a binder for health reasons, but I would like to do whatever I can to support you because I love you and I don't want to see you in distress. Now, these are the actual words that I used, and I thought about them very carefully, and I will put them in a post in the description below this video. That got her attention, and she stopped to listen to what I had to say. I then told her I've done some research so that she knows that I've taken it seriously, and I've also asked my physiotherapist, who I happened to be seeing that day, about how does she help girls with large breasts or ladies with large breasts. And she explained to me that you could have a professionally fitted bra fitter who gives you the right size of bra, and also you can buy something called a minimizer bra. And my physiotherapist explained to me that if a bra does not fit properly, that can cause pain, but it can also cause extra bounce or wobble that makes you feel self-conscious. And the minimizer bras flatten the breasts, not completely, or well, a binder doesn't flatten them completely either, but not as much as a binder, but you get some flattening because a lot of people, even if they don't have gender issues, if they have large breasts, they can be self-conscious. And then step number 3, just putting it out there, I was wondering whether this solution might help you, going to a professional bra fitter and looking for a minimizer bra. Then my step number 4 was the invitation. Is this something you would like to explore with me? And she saw that I was genuinely making an effort to help her with her discomfort. She was completely confident that this would not help, and she told me as much at the time. And I said to her, well, even if it doesn't help, let's go and give it a try and see, because there's a chance it might help. And I've spoken to the physiotherapist and I've done some research, and this seems to be something that could help. So I do take my hat off to my daughter. Although she disagreed with me, she agreed to give this option a try, and we did go and get her fitted. It turns out that the size of bras we had for her previously were the completely wrong size. She has a large cup size and a very small size around the ribs, and so the previous bras that we had for her were no good at all. They were either too big around the ribs to get the right cup size, and so therefore not supportive, or fit around the ribs and the cup sizes were too tiny, which meant she was flowing out of them and again jiggling around, and of course that made her feel self-conscious. So part of me wonders whether part of the discomfort related to the incorrect bra size. Now, I'm not minimizing the impact of this discomfort. The dysphoria or discomfort surrounding breasts is significant. Anyway, so we got the correctly sized bras, and she got the minimizer bra, and I checked in with her about a week later and asked her how she was doing, and she was quite reluctant to tell me, but because she'd seen that I'd made the effort, but she was a little bit concerned about telling me that the bras were not really working all that well for her. They made her still feel very big. And so I asked her, what would she like to do about that? And she suggested, can we go back and could I, as the mother, explain to the bra fitter what she needed, because she thought she hadn't perhaps explained it very well. And that was a massive show of trust in me. And I immediately dropped everything else I was doing to take her to the bra fitter, which was an hour away and then another hour back. But it didn't matter. I said to her, this is my absolute priority to try and help you. And after the second fitting, we did get some bras that were proper minimizer bras and did reduce the size and reduce the jiggle. And my daughter felt a lot better. And that was 6 months into her transgender journey. After another 3 months, she no longer identified as transgender, but still identified as non-binary, which is neither male nor female. I know that the bras do help her, and they give her the support and the comfort. And recently, when we went to on a trip, we went past airport security, and the man at the security said to my daughter, Thank you, sir, for your cooperation. Have a good day, sir. And my daughter was so pleased at being called sir, and I don't think it was because she wanted to be a boy. I think it was because it showed that her breasts were no longer uh, something that people would be looking at in a sexualized way. Not that I think people ever actually were staring at her breasts, but she had that impression. And so these bras have given her a lot of confidence and really helped her anxiety around that. So if this video has given you any help on anything, please can you like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Sending you lots of love and hope, and I will see you again next time.